Who's a good Twilight Sparkle? You are. You're a good Twilight Sparkle. Oh hey gamers, geeks, welcome to another episode of Game Time. I'm your host Kyle. Kind of an impromptu show here. Shoehorning this video in between all my previously scheduled videos. I just got here a nice Wii U over this weekend here, kind of the weekend before Thanksgiving. And I thought I'd kind of share some of my first impressions. I know a lot of people may have one already and like, oh, who cares what Kyle thinks. But I think this video appeals more to those who don't have the Wii U yet or thinking about getting one this holiday season, because I was one I held off for a little while. It didn't really interest me for the first year that it was out, but I've seen a lot of the games that came out for it this year. I'm not much into Pikmin, but that was cool. A lot of people like to see a new one of those. But I've seen, Donkey Kong Country, Mario Kart 8, of course, Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2, which I played the demo for the first one on the PS3, and I kind of liked it. It was always one that was on the to-get list, but I just never got around to it. Now I think I might pick that up for the Wii U because I get both the original game and the sequel. So what this video is, I'm going to keep it brief, but we'll see how it goes. Just a little bit of a system overview, first of all. I'm going to share a couple of experiences I had with it, some things that I like, dislike. We'll see a little bit of what some games look like on the Wii U, just a minute or so of each one, nothing too much. And I'll come back and share some final thoughts and what I thought of it this weekend. So I want to show you basically what it comes with first. I'm going to toss this controller side. Well, I'll do this first here. If you get a chance, this is an optional controller to get. It's pretty much the Pro controller. I don't know why the console itself doesn't come with one. I know it comes with the gamepad, but this is a 360 looking controller. But I think if you have a Wii U and if you plan on playing games maybe like Bayonetta or Zombie U or some of the shooters or just platformers in general, works great with Mario Kart. Highly recommended. And I know a lot of people might make fun of it, very 360 looking at the triggers up there and everything. And yeah, it is. But one thing you really got to respect Nintendo for, because ignore the thumbsticks for a second, when you just hold it with the D-pad and buttons, and you got the shoulder buttons here, very Super Nintendo looking. This is very vital for the NES games and Super Nintendo games and Game Boy games you can get on the Virtual Console, because you got the D-pad, you got the A and B buttons right there, as well as the Y and X. You got the shoulder buttons made for a Super Nintendo looking controller. And when you hold it like that, it feels so great and very good for the retro games. Then you can bring it up here and then do sort of the modern games with the twin sticks shooters, or just twin sticks that way. So I think, yeah, definitely a great controller. Great controller. I don't like its glossy though. It's a big fingerprint magnet, as is the Wii U. So here's the Wii U itself. What you get with this, here's the bundle that I got. They come with various bundles. I've seen the Mario Kart one. I've seen the Legend of Zelda HD collection one. But I got and New Super Mario Brothers as well. But I got this one because I had Mario Kart 8 and New Super Mario Brothers anyway, even before I picked the system up. I got these with a previous paycheck in anticipation for this. But these are games I want to get anyway. Mario 3D World, and it comes with Nintendo Land. That's kind of a fun collection of mini games that actually is a lot of fun to play. They have some really creative ideas there. So you get with the system, the owner's manual and everything. Good stuff to read while you're pooping. Various things there. You get the gamepad, which some people like it, some don't. I don't know why you wouldn't necessarily like it. I think it's a great addition to any type of console. There it is there. And again, we'll see it in action here in just a couple moments. But you get very much the same setup: D-pad, face buttons, the thumbsticks, the home button there. Of course, if you Xbox, PS3 fans recognize, they get a home button. TV button, which is for a different Nintendo TV. You can kind of hook it up with your provider and see what's there. You can use the TV guide and whatnot. I haven't used that one really. I tried it a little bit before I actually started filming this video, and yeah, I don't know. It could be something, but some people might like it. Power button, of course, plus and minus. You got the L and R buttons up here on the shoulder, and then you got the ZR and ZL buttons right there and back. So when you're holding it, it actually feels pretty good. You got a little bit of a camera right here, so you can do FaceTime with other Nintendo users. You got low speakers here because you can get speakers and whatnot, and a very, very generous screen. Battery life on it was not very good. I even set it aside. I was playing several hours of Smash Brothers online just today, in fact. Not even this weekend, but just today. And I was just using the Wii remote, which you can also use your old Wii remotes on this. Of course, when Smash Brothers, I prefer a normal gamepad. I don't have that GameCube connector for it, so I can't hook up my GameCube controllers yet. And it's so awkward not playing with the GameCube controller. Smash does not work very good on the gamepad, by the way. But I just had it on because you can't really turn it off in game. Maybe you can. I've yet to play around with it. Like I said, I've had this for 1 week and I haven't experimented too much with it. But I wasn't even using the gamepad. I was just showing the action on screen and whatnot. And yeah, it drained the battery pretty well, even when not in use. But fortunately, we have some chargers for it. It comes with this handy-dandy thing, which if it was anyone else, it would probably be optional separate purchase. But it comes right in with the system itself. So you plugged it into the wall. Here, well, I'll show you the charger itself. So that's you have to plug up USB in there. Plug it into a wall socket, and then this little mini USB port plugs right in. You can dock the gamepad right in there. So that's pretty cool, and it actually comes with the system itself. Or you can just use it and plug it in right there in the gamepad itself to charge it up while playing. So yeah, okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It also comes with a USB charger, which actually plugs into the front of the Wii U here. We'll get to the Wii U in just a second. This also works on charging the Pro controllers. So handy dandy thing right there. Also comes with the sensor bar. Anyone who has a Wii will be familiar with this. Pretty much like the Wii version, only it's in black. It seems a little bit bigger. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the exact same size. We should do a comparison at some point. Kind of the same connectors. So I wonder if you could actually use your Wii sensor or this one on the Wii. That'd be kind of interesting. Of course, the adapter, Nintendo's kind of gone the route of some other competitors and did one of these big fat bricks, but it's actually not very heavy. There's some weight to it, but the main attraction here is the Wii U itself. I don't like that they went with this whole super glossy thing. It's just a fingerprint dust magnet. Probably one of the worst I've seen. I don't know why they didn't do a simple matte finish. But yeah, from the front of it kind of looks like a normal Wii. Only, it's I think the same width. It's just a little bit longer. In fact, if you bear with me here just for a second. Unhook that. I got the normal Wii here. I have no idea what happened to this. The GameCube controller for it just broke off. That's pretty weird. I normally take pretty good care of my systems. I can't find it anywhere. So yeah, if we line them up here, you can see roughly a bit longer than the Wii, but pretty much the same size width-wise. So we'll set that down right there. The flap here opens up, exposing two USB cords or ports, and the SD card there. There's the eject button, the power button, the sync button. So when you sync up the Wii remotes and whatnot, you kind of hold that down. Nothing along the sides. This side has the vents, which this is kind of annoying. Also, the Wii does come with two stands. I know I have them here because I was just using them a little earlier tonight. But it comes with two stands, so you can actually stand it on its side. But you have you're standing on the side with the vents on, so these point toward the bottom. I would think these would be on top, but whatever. On the back, a little bit of a fan and all the connector ports. HDMI, you got the sensor bar, the power outlet, of course, two more USB ports, pretty nice. Yeah, and I should mention as well, it does connect to an HD TV. Nintendo's finally embraced their HD-ness, and games look and run really well. But if you don't have an HD TV, say you still have an old tube TV or whatnot, it looks like it would be an optional purchase, but that's what that is there for. You can hook up sort of the yellow, white, and red connectors to this, should you choose. But that did not come included with the box. They just gave, oh yeah, and the HD cable is included too. So a little HDMI cord plugged into that. So that is included as well. So that's kind of the system itself, fingerprint magnet and all. But, oh, here's the stands. Looking at them. So there's one, and there's two, of course, but kind of go on that. But that's where the vents are on the bottom. I don't know what the idea was with that particular design. So, games they got with the Wii U, new Super Mario Brothers, gotta have that. Mario Brothers, I think, was the first game I ever played, and Mario 3 was the first one I ever owned, so gotta have that. Mario 3D World, for the first time since Super Mario Bros. 2, you can play as Toad and Peach as well, and they kind of keep their same characteristics in Mario 2. Although, I should probably rephrase that, you can also play, when you have a couple more players, the players 3 and 4 play as the Toads in there too, so I suppose that's the thing. Yeah, so Mario 3D World and Nintendo Land are the two games that got included with this set. And I was wondering if it was just going to be the discs themselves or they were going to include the cases, because I'm a little bit of a collector to some extent, and I like having the actual cases to go with my games whenever I get the chance. So I was super happy to see those included. Mario Kart 8 was one that I picked up even before I had the system, just 2 or 3 weeks prior to it. So I got a fun deal. Target stores here in the U.S. did a buy 2 get 1 free. So I got Mario Brothers U and Mario Kart 8, and for the free game I did choose the new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That's for PS4. Don't hate it. It's actually a pretty good game. That's a debate for another episode, but I enjoy some Call of Duty now and then. Not that big of a fan, but it's different around. So, and of course, one of the big reasons, maybe not the absolute reason, but definitely 90% of reason why I got the Wii U to play new Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Love the 3DS version. Really a marvel of a game, too, on the 3DS. So we're going to show off, except for Smash Bros., show off just a little bit of gameplay from each of these games, just to see how they look and run on the Wii U. Nothing too special. I'm going to save Smash Bros. And Smash 3DS, I think, for a future episode. So we'll take a look at a little bit at some gameplay, just a couple minutes from each of those games, and then we're going to come back here. I'm going to share some final thoughts on my first weekend with the Wii U. The Wii U menu screen is going to be very familiar to anyone who has a 3DS or 2DS, kind of just laid out as is. You have your what game is currently in your system, me makers and whatnot, settings, some of your apps here, downloadable games, to which you can also put at any point in a folder. And the fun little things down here, like your friends list, kind of shows all your friends if they're online and whatnot. What we're being used to now for a little while, the Miiverse, which I'll get to in just a moment. There's, of course, the eShop, where you can purchase classic virtual console games as well as some of the new games. Nintendo's doing very good at sort of the online shopping and whatnot. There's the internet browser. I really haven't used it too much, but it seems to work pretty solid. It's not super great, but it gets the job done. There's Nintendo TV, which I have yet to use as well. I kind of played around a little bit with it just before I started filming this, and I don't know. I can't get accustomed to it just yet. Notifications and download management and whatnot. You can see you can have a couple rows here. Here's all your settings and whatnot. So up here. And all the while that goes on the main TV there, on the gamepad itself, you get the little Miiverse kind of showing you kind of what a lot of other people are playing, what's popular. As you can see at the time of this video, Smash Brothers, of course, is very popular. The Bayonetta games, Sonic Boom, Hyrule Warriors. But we can hit the X button on both the this gamepad as well as the controller, and now we can access our menu here, while the TV now shows what's going on in the old Miiverse. So kind of a handy little system. I'll switch back to that. So yeah, it's been pretty good, and I think it's a pretty simple menu. Also to note before we move on here, We got the ability to go to a Wii, although I don't have the Wiimote hooked up right now. So, oh wait a minute, one's right here. If you give me just a second here. Alright, once we hit that icon, going back to sort of the original Wii, there we go. We have our Wii menu here on the Wii U. Use the normal Wiimotes and whatnot. So here's all the stuff there, and these are games I kind of transferred over from the Wii over to the Wii U, which now that I've done so, I kind of regret doing, because now these are not available to be played on my original Nintendo Wii. I don't not have these anymore, so anytime I want to play some of these classics, I had to boot up the Wii U, and I think the Wii U is going to see a lot of game time as it is already, so I don't know, I might have regretted doing that a little bit. So if you get the chance, the option to do a system transfer, I don't think I would go do it, because now this way, I think all the game data that I transferred over here is on here too, so if I want to continue a lot of games where I left off, I had to put them in the Wii U, whereas my Wii no longer has anything, nor my Mii, saved on it. So I'm going to go back to the Wii U, and we'll see how long it takes to switch up the menus and everything here. We'll do a live run. I see on my tablet it has booted up on the old tablet. Still kind of liking the gamepad. It's creative. So here we are back at the Wii U menu. So that's just a little bit of that. So of course the Wii U has a lot of great gameplay. Here's Link, which is one of the downloadable characters you can get, as well as 2 Grand Prix, kind of a mix of brand new Mario Kart tracks, as well as tracks from classic Nintendo games. Zelda, of course, great Hyrule track in there. But we have Zelda, we have a track from F-Zero, we have a track from Excitebike, as well as a couple new tracks and a couple of returning favorites. The one here is Wario's Goldmine. This was from the Wii version. So a ton of great stuff, and these downloadable tracks are just $7.99 each, and that's an insanely good value considering a lot of other DLC for various other games are a lot more than that, and you don't get as much content or replay valuable. So great decision from Nintendo, in my humble little opinion. Games like New Super Mario Bros. U are a great game to play on the Wii U. Of course, up to 4 players can play it. I think 1 player uses the gamepad. I have yet to actually bring some friends over to try this game, but I'm a big Mario Bros. Fan. This was, of course, one of the first game series I've ever played back in the day. So, and I like this game too. It's actually really good challenge. Actually, one of the harder games, harder Mario games I played probably since maybe Mario the Lost Levels, or I don't know. Mario World was kind of a fun, had some good challenging stages too, especially later on in the game. But yeah, this game's providing a nice challenge, or at least as challenging as 2D Mario Brothers games get. And I really like the level design. I think a lot of the backgrounds, as you can see here, are extremely good. And yeah, I think it has a fun little story. You're not rescuing Princess Peach this time. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of secrets to find. So one thing though, this is actually technically the 4th new Super Mario Brothers game. So I don't know how new they are anymore, but this game kind of combines some of the best of Mario 3 and Mario World. You get to see a lot of familiar faces return from both those games, the Yoshis as well. So kind of a fun thing in my opinion. But now that we've seen a couple of these Mario Brothers games, I'd kind of like to see, if they're going to do another 2D type Mario game like this, I'd almost like to see one based on Mario Brothers 2 again. I know that's kind of a weird choice, but we've only ever had that game, and of course that game sort of remade for the Game Boy Advance, so it'd be kind of fun to see a new type of Mario Brothers 2 game, in my humble little opinion. But yeah, if this game is another must-have, if you have the Wii U and want a little bit of nostalgia factor for New Super Mario Bros. U. There's also a Super Luigi U expansion, lots more stages and levels, and a very creative game. So, yeah, definitely recommend it. One of the two games that came with my system was the Nintendo Land, accomplished sort of a batch of mini games, and really kind of a full game in its own right. I like a lot of these mini games. The Luigi's Mansion one is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with the Metroid themed one. There's a Donkey Kong one in there that I am very addicted to. I think it's a great one. It's a great game to play by yourself, although solo-wise, this one's a fun one too, the Ninja Stars, where you have a gamepad, you kind of fling in Ninja Stars on the screen. This is one I was mentioning, the Donkey Kong themed one. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of fun. Probably my favorite on the collection. This one's based on Balloon Pop, a lot of fun too. You kind of move the stylus on the gamepad, having a lot of fun with that. Well, unfortunately, with some of the games, it's 2 or more players only. So if you're just sitting at home alone, you're not going to be able to play all the mini games. But I think what's there is a great selection. There's that Metroid one that I was telling you about. Really a blast indeed. So this is a great packing game. It's going to be fun for a lot of gaming parties and sessions. Lots of family-friendly and fun games to be played on here. So. And even if you don't get a chance to get this one, it does come recommended if you get a chance to get a copy. Alright, the last game I'm going to show off here a little bit is for the first time. I mentioned Mario Bros. 2 briefly a moment ago on New Super Mario U. But the first time we get to see those 4 characters back in action. You get to play as Toad, which you could in Mario Bros. On the Wii U. But you also get Peach as well, and that's a lot of fun. And I think this game's kind of unique, a little bit of a challenge as well. I really enjoyed the Super Mario 3D Land that was on the 3DS, although I found that one pretty darn easy. This one's more or less the same game style as that game was. So if you were a fan of that, you're going to be a fan of this, and vice versa. I'm just, I like seeing a little bit more challenge in the Mario games, and I think this one has it, again, especially later on. I haven't dived too far into it, but there's enough good challenge here that I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely one of the more creative Mario games that we've seen in quite a while. So, and the characters really kept their characteristics from Mario Bros. 2. Luigi has that weird jump. He can jump a little taller and a little longer. Toad's really fast. He can move and throw things really fast. Mario's the well-balanced character. Peach, of course, can float in air for a couple seconds, which is really handy in a lot of stages. I enjoyed playing as Peach the most in Mario Bros. 2 just because of her floating abilities. So, yeah, this is another great game. We can play 4 players at the same time and all that. So, definitely another good party game, be it 1, 2, 3, or 4 players. So I think this is a great choice, and this is, again, another game that was packed into the bundles for Nintendo Wii U. So if you get a chance to get that bundle, you get Nintendo Land and this game. And that's a lot of gameplay right there, even if you only had those for a few weeks until your next paycheck or whatnot. Definitely not a bad choice of games to be tossed into a collection. So, yeah, big fan of this, and I think one of the things I really like most about this game is actually some of the mini games that are available in here. They're called Captain Toad. You kind of play as Toad. You're going around these little mini puzzles collecting stars. And you can't jump, you can't really attack enemies. You kind of have to just kind of manipulate the stage, move it around a little bit, and collect stars. And it's really thought-provoking. It's really a good game, and I love to see the full game of Captain Toad. That's going to be coming out here pretty soon for the Wii U. I'm definitely checking that out because the Captain Toad stages in this game were phenomenally and very creative. So, all right. So, final thought time. What do I think of the Wii U? Being actually a long-time Nintendo fan. Obviously, you know, I enjoy my Nintendo. I got out of it a little bit with the Wii. I liked the first 2-3 years that the Wii was out, some pretty interesting games, but then I thought it kind of fell flat, and I kind of lost a little interest in with the Wii U announcement. I was like, well, what? And it took a little while to get the Wii U, I think, going. So I kind of fell out, but of being a little bit of a Nintendo system fan. I always enjoy the old school Nintendos and whatnot. But yeah, just compared to what the, really the PS4 and even the Xbox One to some extent, I don't have that system yet. But it just, I don't know. But now that I have one, I do want to say I kind of regret, I'll keep this brief by the way, I do regret not getting the system earlier. I would have loved to have played this throughout the summer and got Mario Kart 8 when it was new and everything. But I went with the PS4 first this summer, and I don't regret getting my PS4 by any means, because I have a lot of friends who have are PlayStationers, and they get online and play quite a bit. And I have a lot of friends on the PlayStation Network. I liked and that controller is just so great, and I thought this was kind of weird. But now I've had a chance to kind of work with it firsthand. I think out of the three, current gen systems, Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, I really am liking this. I'm really liking the Wii U. Some people may not agree with this choice, thinking, Nintendo's kind of lost this, not capabilities of some of the other systems, and I get that. Even you take a look at, this deluxe set's 32 gigs. It's kind of laughable, because even, PS4 games themselves, Battlefield, for example, you got to have 40 gigs of storage space just to be able to play that game. So, but I think this has a lot of appeal to, I think, old and new school Nintendo fans, because you can get some of those harder core games, and there you got Watch Dogs for the Nintendo, and I know we probably won't see more Call of Duties, but they had Call of Duty Ghosts and Black Ops, and we got Zombie U, and they put Assassin's Creed on the Wii U. But you guys at the time, now myself as a Wii U owner, we just didn't buy those. We only bought Mario games and Zelda HD remakes and stuff like that. So it's hard for third-party publishers to bring their games to the Wii U when we don't really buy those. We just want more Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, which ironically are the two games I played the most on the Wii. And here we go again, we're playing them the most on the Wii U. So, but I think this is a lot of fun. The Wii's online was atrocious. I never liked it. I played a lot of Mario Kart online, but you couldn't voice chat, and friend codes were like 12 digits, and I think they were different for every game. It was just a nightmare. Here it's a little bit more simplified. I've added a few friends. You can see when they're online, so it's sort of like normal systems, what we're used to with Xbox and PlayStation. So they kind of jumped on that. Nintendo's got some good, kind of into the DLC world, which both good and bad. So far, their DLC, I just picked some up from Mario Kart. Like I said, 2 different Grand Prix, 8 tracks, 3 characters. All that is just for $8 US, $7.99. And what a great deal compared to a lot of what other companies offer with those other games. They're just ridiculous. Nintendo's doing DLC right, in my opinion. So, gamepad, it's weird. I don't use it for a lot of games. It works pretty well with new Mario Brothers, or the Mario 3D World. Kind of works pretty well with Mario Kart. You really only need, gas and to steer, and fire, the triggers to drift and fire buttons. So, not so much with Smash. I don't know, it's not going to be too much of hardcore, but any virtual console titles you get, you can download, you can play them on just the tablet. You don't have to worry about having the TV on. So, I think it works pretty well. Not for every game, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And maybe some criticism is that it's kind of weird with the screen in the middle. But hey, I've had, I've been a mobile gamer pretty much since 1992 with the original Game Boy. I've had the Game Boy Advance, screen in the middle, buttons on the side. I love the PSP, screen in the middle, buttons on the side. Vita, screen in the middle, buttons on the side. DS, screen in the middle, buttons on the side. I've gamed so many hours on that, so screen in the middle, buttons on the side. I got used to it right away, just in the first few minutes of playing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm used to this. I'm used to this. So the gamepad's great. Not for every single game, but it's a handy addition. I don't think Nintendo needs to do away with it. Although I would have liked, like a Pro controller bundled with it, just for normal type of games. The amiibos that are available now, with Smash Brothers came out. I just got the Samus one. I'm torn on whether I want to get the others. They're kind of cool. You can kind of level them up in Smash Brothers. In Mario Kart, you can unlock costumes like this. You could use this for like a Samus-looking costume for your Miis in Mario Kart 8. Hopefully they'll have more, and I think in Hyrule Warriors you can level your Link up. And I'm assuming Zelda as well, but we'll see how that goes. So they're cool. They're kind of like the trophies in Smash Brothers. I might, if I have some spare money and not a lot else to spend on, I might pick a few more up. They're kind of cool. They're not needed by any ways, just kind of a collector thing. The Wii U itself, I like how it looks. It's a very sexy system, fingerprint magnet and all. But I think it's very capable. Smash Brothers itself is, that glorious 60 frames per second, running at 1080p. It's a really great looking, and actually one of the best games I've seen yet on the Wii U, quite honestly. So it's a very capable system. I think very powerful and whatnot. Last thing I want to talk about is the online with this. Then, since I mentioned the Wii online was atrocious, this online, it's working pretty good. I've yet to take Mario Kart online, but all the videos I've seen on YouTube and whatnot they seem to work fine. I've only had the experience with Smash Brothers. I played several matches online, and it's easy to find friends. You can see what your friends are playing. You can join them if they have an open room. You can just join them. The voice chatting on the Wii U itself, not great. I mean, it works. It gets the job done. It does what it's supposed to do. It's not super great. The friends that I played with, we just kind of use Skype. That works just as well. The games were pretty good. I noticed on some of the busier stages in Smash Brothers, like when there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, it tends to be a bit laggy. There was just one particular match out of, I don't know how many I've played, quite a few already online, that the lag got so bad it actually just disconnected. It was a no contest. I think I was knocked out of that match anyway, so it didn't matter. It didn't really matter to me. I didn't lose out on anything. But that did happen once. So it's not perfect. I would hope that Nintendo, they had to realize millions of people would be taking this game online and playing it online. So I don't know what the deal is. It wasn't perfect, but it's light years better than it was on the Wii. I keep looking over here at the Wii, so it's a lot better than the Wii was. So lots of improvements that were made over the previous system. I like playing Nintendo games online now. I think it's and I love the community, actually. Really, lots of great people. Nintendo's very strict, no profanity or whatnot, on their Miiverse and whatever. But that's cool. So I'm liking it. And like I said, PS4 and Wii U. I'm really liking the Wii U. I think it has a lot more games to offer and a lot more coming up here soon as well. So I think it's a great time to get it. It's November 2014. If you're looking to pick one up this holiday season, do so. The 5 games that I showed you, I highly recommend. Tons of virtual console games from classic Nintendo systems, and hopefully more will be added. I like to see the Sega and maybe some N64 games added on there as well, like it was on the Wii. Tons of great games that are out already. Tons more coming out. The online's been solid, not super great. The Amiibos, I think, have some potential. And yeah, everything's just been really good. I'm really liking this. And again, my big regret is not picking one up sooner. So, I don't know. But hopefully this video, was helpful in some way. Probably not, and that's fine. That's fine. But just kind of sharing my thoughts. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I think it's a great system. And welcome back, Nintendo. With this game, this system and the games that I have are just going to be played a lot from now until who knows when. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And I'm glad Nintendo, I think, is back on top of their game where they deserve to be. So it's just a breath of fresh air from the staleness that the other systems were providing over the past couple of years. And big one disappointing game after another. Disappointments with like Destiny, which was so repetitive. And in the one match the very first match I played in Smash Brothers, and the first race I raced in Mario Kart, and the first stage in New Super Mario Brothers, I had more fun in those games than I ever had playing Destiny, which I traded in. I didn't like it, and I never trade games in anymore, but that was one that I did. It's just, you know, and with Battlefield 4 and their online issues when that game came out, and numerous other games having just so many difficulties, it's great to see Nintendo, sorry about that, Nintendo games working, and they're great. So I can't say enough good things about the Wii U. Yeah, 9 out of 10. You know, a little bit better online. You can fix that. The gamepad I think is great, but you know, not recommended for a lot. You know, some of the games. So solid system. Nintendo's back onto their game. Great value too. It's the cheapest one out of the next gen consoles. So pick one up. And yeah, message me if you want to add a friend. I play a lot of Smash and Mario Kart now. So send me a message or leave me in the comments. I'll give you my Nintendo Network ID. Yeah, and we'll do some gaming. Love to play with any of you guys out there. So thank you a lot for watching. Really do appreciate it. I'm glad you think this video is worth your time. It means a lot. So as always, we'll see you in the next video.